Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Plenty to go through on tonight's show, going from Rasmus Hojlund deal being delayed, looking at the very latest on this Sofayn Amrabat deal, and of course, looking at this recent report put out today by Mike Keegan of the Daily Mail on the Manchester United takeover. So there is plenty and plenty of stuff to go through. So first and foremost, let's get talking about Rasmus Hojlund, because this should be pretty simple to run our minds through. This should be pretty simple as to what's going on. Here we've got Casual. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining in. I'm so fresh. Good evening to you, man, and hope all is good. So gonna run through this really quickly. So Højlund deal delayed seemingly. Now apparently he turned up an hour or two late yesterday. Now he's done some of the medical today, and he's meant to do some media duties. What this screams to me of, and I'll put it really, really simply and really succinctly, is Manchester United think there's going to be a protest on Saturday at this match. I think they're just trying to announce Højlund at the match like they did last season with Casemiro, like they did the season before with Rafael Varane at Old Trafford, to try shut the crowd up. That's what I think's going on. I might be wrong, but that's what this screams to me. So Ashid is down there as well. Good to see you, man. But yeah, other than that, no other problems with the Højlund deal. Nothing, no hold-ups. Everything's going to plan. It just looks like this is something United have decided to do. And I feel like it's because they think there might be a protest at the weekend. That surely makes the most sense to me. That there is no way it takes a medical 4 days to go through. It just doesn't. Like, it really does not take that long to go through. So we're going to get talking on the big one, guys, because at long last we have an update coming in on this Manchester United takeover. So coming in, Mike Keegan, Daily Mail. First and foremost, there remains confident amongst those close to Sheikh Jassim. They feel confident that they will still win the Manchester United race, that they will still become the owners of Manchester United. This is coming from Mike Keegan, who has been fairly reliable, all things considered. And look, as the sheet says, the medical's already been complete for Højlund. It was completed yesterday, so this is just one of those things that the club's doing. Cressy saying, do you think he'll play Sunday? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm hoping that he does. But it screams to me that they know there's a match at Old Trafford on Saturday. They know that the club hasn't been sold. They know there's probably going to be people kicking up about that. So if they bring out a shiny new toy, put him up with a shirt and have a few photos and a few cheers and stuff for Højlund, that maybe it'll stop the protest. Maybe it'll take the edge off it. That's what I think's going on. What have we got here as well? Stephen is down there. Good evening to you, man. Stephanie, good to see you. It is the billion pound question, absolutely. And I'm so fresh. There's loads worth news been saying it's been a very thorough medical that United are having, apparently. Yeah, look, it doesn't make sense, man. I mean, Mount was done in a day. It took Onana a day to do a medical. As a matter of fact, the Onana medical was so quick that we went flew him in. He arrived in the morning. He did his medical in the morning, took his photos, and he got on a plane to New York in the afternoon. It doesn't take 4 days to do a medical test. Like, it really doesn't. But coming in as well from Mike Keegan on the same article. So United takeover discussions remain ongoing, with the Glazers continuing to talk with a number of parties. Now, this has been a very convoluted deal. This has been very confusing as to what's been going on. On one hand, yes, there is definitely a lot of heel dragging coming from certain sections of the ownership, most notably going to be Joel and Avram Glazer. Now, I think they're looking at this through a couple of different lenses. First and foremost, there is all these new sponsorships coming to Manchester United. This new Adidas deal will be worth £900 million across a 10-year period. Then we also have the new Champions League format. So more matches, that's going to be more money for those guys. TV deals are going up. The rise of the Saudi Arabian League as well is definitely something they will have taken notice of. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on this one. It really, really is. And I'm praying that it manages to have some sort of quick resolution. I want those guys gone. I want them gone as quickly as possible. If you had told me 12 months ago that I'd be sitting here on a live, sitting talking still about the Glazer family being at Manchester United, I wouldn't have believed you. But look, I'm fully on board with what Stephanie's saying. Like, full seal only. We want these guys gone. We have wanted the Glazer family gone for 18 years now at this point, coming up to 19. So it has been a long, long time in the making this. We don't want anything less than all of them gone permanently. That's what we want. Let me see. Who else have we got in the chat? So Greg's down there. As soon as the Glazers leave, the better their complete circus. Yeah, look, it's just, it is just ridiculous at this point, guys. It really, really is. And it's, you have to think at some point they're probably going to get done for market manipulation if they don't sell, because the amount of money people could have made off all those big rises in price would be extortionate, and surely surely there has to be some sort of legal protections and stuff. Let me just see if I can get the rest of the Mike Keegan article up. Chrissy says, what's the realistic outcome do you see with the club sale? Honestly, man, from a business point of view, it doesn't work. At the moment, this club model does not work because the profitability has stopped at United. The wages have gone up. The money needed to fix up Old Trafford, to fix up Carrington, and make the team competitive, it's not available at the club. The Glazers will not spend their money on the club, so that money has to come from elsewhere. I don't see any minority investors saying, okay, Joel, Avram, here's 5 billion, go run the club for us. I don't think anybody would take that deal. So I don't know. I think it will still come down to a sale, but I can't see these guys just digging their claws in and really dragging it on. Robert is saying the Glazer family very greedy. Absolutely. David is asking why delay the Højlund announcement. I think it's time to go for Amrabat since Højlund is done. Yeah, look, it is. I would like us to go for Sofayn Amrabat right now. I hope we are. By the signs that are coming out, the deal is done. On the player side, he wants to come. We've agreed a contract. We need to start making bids. We need to start talking to Fiorentina on that one. In terms of the Højlund one, why it's been delayed. Now, it has been delayed because he turned up late yesterday for his medical. And it's been delayed by up to 3 days, which doesn't make any sense to me. A medical can be done in a day. It can be done in a day, easily. I think what the club are looking at, and this is me being suspicious and always thinking there's a reason for doing things of Manchester United in a certain way, is there's a match on Saturday at Old Trafford. There's likely going to be some sort of protest at it. So if they bring out Højlund, like they did last year with Casemiro, like they did the season before with Rafael Varane, and bring him out in front of the crowd and everybody can applaud and stand up for the new signing, the new shiny toy, then maybe the protests won't happen. Maybe the chance will be less. That's what I think is going to be happening. Casual's asking, who do you prefer, Lavia or Amrabat? I think at the minute, I'm probably going to take Amrabat, but I feel like Lavia, he has that potential. He really can be something special. But I think in terms of what we really need at the current moment, maybe just going to give it to Sofayn Amrabat. Not saying whatsoever that he isn't a brilliant player, Lavia, and I would love to have him at Manchester United. I really, really would. Stephanie saying, is it true Fred still needs to be sold for Amrabat deal to happen? It's going to come down to Fred or Donny van de Beek, Stephanie. So one of those guys has to go. And we have to be questioning it. We really, really do. Let me just see if I can load this up. Can I zoom in on that? Because I don't know why it's really far zoomed out. It's just the Mike Keegan one. So there we go. So Mike Keegan's also said on this report, so the two front runners to take over at Manchester United, Qatar's Sheikh Jassim and British billionaire Sir Jim Radcliffe, both have lodged their bids, but they both remain in the dark over their bid status. The Glazers are demanding at least £6 billion in order to sell the club, and that's not good, guys. It's really not. Like, how much further does it go on? How much longer does this drag on? So it really, really goes on for a very, very long time. Daily Mail can also disclose that architects who previously worked on a range of plans for such upgrades as what are being proposed at Old Trafford, which include the building of a new stadium and big redevelopments, have not been asked so far to draft a new scaled down proposals. They have been told to put all plans on hold. So we're not even working on the stadium, guys, either. So that's not good. Chrissy's saying, what about Jevons' contract? Love to see it. Johnny Evans looks like he's going to be staying at United, probably on a 1-year deal. Look, I've no problem with it. I really don't, because the way I see it is, this guy's coming in to be like 5th choice. He's going to bring experience. He's going to be there if you need him. I don't see any harm in it whatsoever. I really don't. Let me see. I'm so fresh says there definitely is legal standpoints about influencing the market in the way it's been done so far. There must be some stark market rules that get affected by people selling and not selling. Yeah, it's like one of them. It's when people say they're going to sell, the price goes up, and then someone's made money on it somewhere. I guarantee it. He also done in the comments, Chrissy Dunnock1, Greg saying, I heard from Daily Red Devil, Højlund will be unveiled on Saturday and take part in the match on Sunday. I hope he does. And that's just me being selfish because I'm seeing the match on Sunday. So I would love to see a bit of Rasmus out on the pitch for United. But I don't know. It just seems like it's been really badly handled. It really does. I said last week that this Højlund deal needed to be done by about Tuesday, announced, so that he could start training. He hasn't started training yet because Manchester United, we flew back on Monday night, arrived on Tuesday. First training day was probably today. He should have been training with the team from today. That gives him the maximum amount of time working with these players. So he's only going to have 2 matches at the weekend where he probably won't play both matches. He might play a combined 45 minutes, a combined 90 minutes across those 2 matches. So it's still not great in that regard. Stephanie says Amrabat more versatile, can play right back as well. Yeah, look, Amrabat brings you that versatility. Lavia is definitely a potential there, but it's kind of like, my problem is with Lavia is it's like, yes, he's brilliant, but does him coming in and playing behind Casemiro prevent his development? Does it hold back Kobe Mainoo as well? So that's what I'd be kind of asking. I think Amrabat's a nice middle point where he can come in, be a sort of versatile squad option, can play plenty of matches, and not hold back Kobe Mainoo as well. So that's what I think is going to be the best one for United. Michael says they're so greasy, so greedy. I don't care. No, they really don't. Will says, do you think we'll definitely sign Amrabat? I feel like yes. There's been far too much coming in from very good sources, from Romano, from Ornstein, from James Ducker and all, from this side, from the UK side, then from the side, DiMarzio has been on it, Alfredo Padilla. So everybody we would trust on this deal has kind of said United are very interested in the player. The player really wants to come to United, and we're going to go in for him. Everybody is also agreeing we have to sell first, and those sales have to be either Fred or Donny van de Beek, and that's the worry. Stephanie says United drag their feet on everything. Yeah, absolutely. It comes from top down. It really does, and I've always felt that way. But in terms of players going now, we want to see Sofayn Amrabat come in, but we need to sell players first. That has been made very clear. So coming in from Alfredo Padilla to start with. So Manchester United have lowered the asking price for Fred to £12.9 million after initially looking 17.2 million. So that's not too bad. I still think Fred's worth more, but I think maybe we have to be realistic in this market and look at a guy who is 30 years old. He has 1 year left on his contract. Maybe that's where the valuation is coming in from. Chrissy saying kids on Saturday, first team Sunday, or vice versa. I think it'll be different. I think it might be 45 minutes in each for the full team, but you have to imagine at some point Erik ten Hag will want to play the full team, the first team, for a full 90. He really will want to do that. And the Sunday match is going to be the very last match before we actually kick off in the Premier League. So maybe we try to do something there. Casual's looking my opinion on Pellistri. Look, I don't mind. I really like Facundo. I think he brings something really different, guys. I'm kind of off the camp. If he can play and get enough minutes, then I'd be very, very, very happy with him to play and stay. If he can't get the minutes, I wouldn't look. I wouldn't be holding my breath on it. Let me see what we got as well. So this is as well coming in from Fabrizio Romano saying on regards to Fred. So United are waiting to sell Fred, and 100% it will happen. It's a difficult deal to do with Galatasaray, but other clubs are now entering the race. So I think we can trust Romano. I do think we can trust Fabrizio. Padilla is kind of a little bit interesting. He has been right, but sometimes the guy gives me the vibes of what do you call it? Oh man, I actually forget his name. Is it your guy Romero who does the Barcelona stuff on Twitch, and he was doing all the De Jong stuff last year? Sometimes I get a little bit of Gerard Romero vibes from Alfredo Padilla, the way he gets on. But look, he has been right on deals already this summer. I would put him in there as something to take note of. I wouldn't say trust this guy with your life the same way I would with Romano, but I think I'll listen to him as well. Will is saying McTominay and Maguire should be sold this summer. They're not good enough. Yeah, look, they really should. But the problem is with that, there is in-club politics. People want Harry Maguire to succeed. People in the club thought it was a good idea to spend £80 million on Harry Maguire. So they're keen to keep him there. And they will be stubborn on this as well. You have to think that's always been the case with this still. I mean, Harry Maguire was in this club for 3 months before he was made club captain. That had to have been some sort of a political decision as well. You have to think it, surely. In terms of McTominay, I would sell him in the morning. Look, I don't mind him as a player. I like him as a personality. He works hard. You can never question the guy's attitude. It's always ability. And I just don't think he is what Erik ten Hag needs in midfield. Can he do what Casemiro does in the holding role? No. Can he do box-to-box role and keep possession like Mount will? No. Can he make chances and score goals like Bruno? No, he can't. And he doesn't fit into any of those roles. Scott McTominay is perfect for a Newcastle United, for West Ham United, for Everton, for Villa. Somewhere where he can go box-to-box, have the space to burst into. That's his level. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a very high level of football. Just not a United player for me. Irfan says Anthony and Mount will be big flops. I don't know. I don't think so, man. I think they'll come good. I'm giving Mount plenty of time, absolutely. Stephanie saying, would you be happy to let Maguire go for as low as 20 million, knowing that we save 3 years' wages on him, worth approximately £30 million, so effectively a £50 million saving? That's a brilliant question. It really is. And I'll put that out to you guys as well. I think we should be looking more for Maguire. I think £30 million would be his valuation. I really do. That's where I think we should be looking at. And I say that for several reasons. He's 30 years old. It's not too old for a centre-back. A lot of experience. England international. That has to count for something. So I think 25 to 30 is where I would sell him from. Terry, good to see you, man. Rajat saying McTominay is okay, but United didn't utilise him correctly. No, we didn't. But I don't think United are going to play in a way that's going to utilise him correctly either. So that's my issue with him. Bodhi on YouTube, good to see you as well. Michael says, how much would you give for the two of them combined? I'm assuming that's McTominay and Maguire. I would say in a ballpark, maybe 45 to 50 million for both. I think that's fair. I think Maguire probably 20 to 25. That's realistic. McTominay 25 to 30. That's his price range. And that wouldn't be a bad sale. It really wouldn't, folks. It could make a big difference. Casual says, have you heard the Brandon Williams rumours to Leeds United? I have. I've seen them. I don't know how to respond to them, really. Brandon Williams is a player who needs to go. Like, simply put, he's coming in. He's what? Like, fourth choice right back and left back. He's 22, 23 years old. He is a player who has to go for his career. If he wants to have a serious career in football, he has to go. So if Leeds come in for him, it's not the worst move. He will play for them in the Championship and then might get promoted again. So maybe it's not a bad idea. For him, Ed says, hear me out, get Skamaka involved in this deal. Lars so tacky, he was wasted under Moyes, and it's clear we need another striker. Yeah, look, I got a little bit of stick for this a while back for saying I would happily take Gianluca Skamaka at Manchester United. He has been misprofiled because he's a big guy, because he's like 6'4", 6'5", but he is so good with the ball at his feet. He is so good at his hold-up play. He is more of a Zlatan Ibrahimovic type player. It's not that he is as good as Zlatan, but that's the kind of mold you're talking there. It's not that this guy is just a big guy up front. He's not Peter Crouch. He is a brilliant technical player. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. We're up to 22 likes. Can we get up to 30 likes already? Big ups to yourselves as well. Michael says, I'd say Rasmus is a little raw. I hope he doesn't learn from Martial. No, he'll learn from the best. He'll learn from Erik ten Hag. He will learn from as well Benny McCarthy. And we do actually have comments coming in from that. So this is coming in from Samuel Luckhurst. So Højlund is seen as a rough diamond who could be developed into one of Europeans' elite goal scorers under Erik ten Hag. That's where I think we're at with this guy. I think very raw player, all the right attributes. It's like you can see it in him. It's just, let's get it out of him. That's what we need to do. Stephanie says Scott will probably stay a local lad, youth product. That always does swing the way of players like that. Jesse Lingard was here for many years and always viewed as a youth prospect, even when he was mid-20s, late 20s. And now he doesn't have a club. So that's kind of, I don't know. John Boy says 30 million Maguire. Good luck with that. Look, that's what a serious club would sell him for. I genuinely believe that. I don't know. Like, I really don't. I think if you look at other sales going in and around those teams, I think it's probably a fair deal. 25, 30 million tops. That's probably right to go for. Stephanie says, Dean Henderson news. Haven't seen too much on Dean Henderson. Now, there was the talk, of course, as we know, that in regards to Henderson's loan move with an obligation to buy, United were arguing with Forest. Forest were looking to play 30 matches before he actually signed, and they had an obligation. What I think would have happened there would have been they would have played him for 29. That's what I think would have happened. United were knowing that and saying, if you pay him for 2 matches, you have to give us some money. So I don't know. There's a big difference in makeup there. I hope that it's going to happen. I really, really do. But I want to see it happening. And I want to see him gone. I'm so fresh says, I'd take 30 million. His wages leaving the club would be significant to the budget. Moyes trying to cheap him out with 20 million chump band tactics. Yeah, look, you have to question that. It's not like the entire world football knows that West Ham just got a lot of money in for selling Declan Rice. Whenever you rip somebody off and you take a lot of money and you turn around looking to buy players from somebody else, they're going to say, you guys just got 105 million pounds. Let's have a bit of that. That's on top of their budget already. West Ham could spend up to 200 million this summer, depending on FFP restrictions. Let's see what's going to happen there. Let's see them actually be a big club like they think they are and put in some serious money for players. That's what we want to see. And that would help Manchester United. So coming in as well, so we have this, I believe it's coming in on Harry Maguire. Yes, so David Moyes would like to try one more time with Maguire, despite the players' reluctance to come. That's an issue, guys. He doesn't want to come. He doesn't want to leave United. He doesn't want to go to West Ham. So, like, what really can we do there? Christian is saying, I would take at least 65 million pounds for them both. Like you said, Maguire's not a bad player. He just doesn't suit Ten Hag style. No, it's the exact same with McTominay. Not bad players, just don't fit the style. They really don't. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. There is genuinely nothing wrong with that. If you don't fit the style, you don't fit the style. And some of the best players haven't fit the style and just haven't worked out. I mean, that's just the way football goes sometimes. Rajat says, hope missing Greenwood comes back. Will be interesting to see what's going to happen there. I think, was there a comment from Big T going in there as well? Qatar or Saudi from Wish, people excited for us to become PSG 2.0? Yes, a good question. That is a good question. I want to see United have genuine good ownership, and I don't know where it's going to come from. Look, we have to ask questions about the Qataris. The deal at PSG, the running of PSG, it hasn't been perfect. We want the opposite of that. We don't want to just throw stupid money and buy a load of superstars who refuse to work and refuse to run. That's not what United needs to be about. If Qataris come in, or if Radcliffe comes in, they bring the best in terms of sporting directors, CEOs, technical directors. Say, Eric Ten Hag, what players do you want? We will get you the players for your system. That's a lot better than going, let's go buy Messi and Ronaldo, because that could be fun. You know, that's what we need to avoid. Gani is saying, I think we can and should give 40 for Maguire, but the guy is not willing to move, not just to any club. Yeah, look, that's the frustrating, guys. It is. And he does seem to see himself at a level above where he's actually at. I think he's expecting, if he leaves United, he would go to an Arsenal, a Chelsea, someone like that, maybe even the Spurs. But the realistic thing is his level at the moment is probably more aligned to a Brentford, or more aligned to an Aston Villa or something like that. That's where he's at the moment. It really is. I'm so fresh says, I heard it could cost £10 million to release Maguire. It probably would. I think that's probably a year's salary for him. Terry says, if you want to complete with City, etc., you need to upgrade the players. Qatar for me. Michael says, if Qatar get in, we will get whoever we want. Look, there'll be aspects of that, absolutely. But I think the best way to bring players in, it isn't just money, it isn't just the promise of that, because this isn't the French league. This is not going to be like Ligue 1, where if you spend money, they'll just win. It's not going to be a PSG situation. There's too much money in the Premier League. With City, with Newcastle, with Chelsea, even Arsenal have a lot of money. Liverpool are still serious contenders. If United want, and if the Qataris come in, throwing money at the wall isn't going to answer the questions. We've already done this. We've done this for the last 10 years. It has to be strategized. It has to be focused. It has to be with a clear goal in mind. That's what they have to do. Because while City spent massive money, absolutely they do, it is all strategized. It is all planned out. It is all to build the team in a certain way, and the players come in to fit the system. It isn't just signing star players for the sake of that. So that's what United need to do. If it's Qataris, if it's Radcliffe, no matter who owns this football club, we have to have a clear strategy of where we want to go. So just throwing money, it's not going to get us there. Throwing money and spending a lot of money investing in where you need to invest to be the best team possible, that's what's going to make you a league winner. That's what's going to win you a Champions League. You know, it really is, guys. Who else we got? Ed is saying, don't care who buys us, anyone will get rid of the Glazers. Marta and Arnold is fine by me. A lot of people feel the same. They really, really do, guys. Ed said, Big T says, Greenwood out for abusing his woman. Qatar in with abuse of women. Does our fan base stop and think? It's a good question. It is a good question. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I really don't. With this Greenwood situation. Now, we do have an update coming in. I'm sure everybody's seen this, but I want to go through it with you guys as well. So coming in from Fabrizio Romano, an announcement on Greenwood's future is now expected to be a matter of days. It all depends on Manchester United. Now, I believe part of this as well is that this will be an executive decision of Manchester United. It doesn't look like Erik ten Hag is going to have too much of a say on this matter. I don't think Ten Hag has the authority of Man United to walk up and say, I don't want Greenwood. To say, bring Greenwood back. I think he is either going to be given Greenwood or it's going to be taken off him. It's going to be above him. It's going to be a board level decision. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. What we can say now is there is definitely a push from Manchester United. I think they're shaping up to bring Greenwood back. I really do. And whether you think that's right, whether you think that's wrong, that's where it looks like it's going. It really does. I've said it many times, and I will say it again. And I will stand by it. If Greenwood comes back tomorrow, literally, if he came back 9 o'clock tomorrow, first thing for training, he will not play a match until November at the very earliest. He might not play a match in this year because he hasn't kicked a ball in almost 2 years of for Manchester United. It's almost been what, like it was December 2021, wasn't it? Like we're in August 23. It's going to take a long time for him to get up to gear. It's going to take a long time for him to even be anywhere near ready to play football. And even when he comes back, he's going to have to work his way back in the team. Even when he comes back, he's going to be abused by every single fan in every away stadium, probably by large sections of his own fan base. It will be non-stop. He will be followed to and from the games. There will be abuse shouted at him going in and out of the stadium. So it's not going to be an easy ride by any means. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. It really is. It's out of our control. I don't think it's in Erik ten Hag's control, but it's going to be no matter what is going to happen, people are going to be upset about it. If he is sold, if his contract is torn up, people are going to be upset about it. If he comes back, people are going to be upset about it. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there, guys. It really is. MC Fresh says, anyone know what happened to Rafael and Fabio, the De Silva brothers? I think Rafael is still playing. I think Big T's right. Something tells me Fabio might be back in Brazil. Ronnie says, if Maguire leaves, I would go to a young lad from Benfica. He's 19, but he has scored goals in the Champions League, and he's a big defender. Yeah, we're talking Antonio Silva, brilliant player. Really like him, and I like Dimond as well. Somebody actually recommended him on the chat here a couple of weeks ago, and I went and watched some highlights. I did some scouting look on him. He looks a baller as well. He really, really does. Rajat says, do a Goldbridge impression. I can't really do Goldbridge. My voice doesn't really go up that high. I know he does have a higher voice, but I don't know. I can't really do a Goldbridge impression too well. Sim says, if Johnny Evans gets a contract, then Greenwood will be back. I don't think it's too related to each other. Rajat says he may be playing at a Brazilian club. Gani says, I don't agree. I believe United would ask whoever the manager is if he wants a player or not. Yeah, look, I think they should. It just seems to be consensus that they're not going to. It looks to be that he's not going to be asked. That seems to be the way it's going. We're going to find out. I don't think anyone fully knows the true story about this, because I think United are making it up as it goes along. Whereas that says, how about Ramos on a 1-year loan? We talking Sergio Ramos, or are we talking Gonzalo Ramos? Look, Gonzalo Ramos, apparently PSG have put a bid in for him. That might be an interesting one. We're gonna see what happens there. Look, there's a lot of talk on it. Coming in as well from Fabrizio, an announcement on Greenwood's future, matter of days. United have to decide whether they keep, loan, or sell him. So, I mean, still no decision made. I think it needs to come soon. It needs to come quickly, and it needs to be made effectively. United need to be ruthless on this. I have said for a long time, I think United have been pushing this along, trying to delay it, hoping that the sale will happen and it will be somebody else's problem. That strikes, that sits deep with me. That's what I think we have been doing. Let me see. Stephanie saying United need to decide and make a statement sooner rather than later. Interesting what's going to happen. Another distraction we could do without. Absolutely. Absolutely, I do agree with that. Rajat says centre back Ramos, captain type. Yeah, I mean, look, Sergio Ramos. I mean, it can be an upgrade on Johnny Evans. Will probably be an upgrade on Harry Maguire. Don't see it happening though. I don't like. I mean, it would be funny if we had Casemiro, Ramos, Varane playing in the one team. It could be like Madrid all over again, but I don't see it happening, man. Let's see. Centre back. Ramos is good. Got that. Antonio Silva and Ignacio are going to go for big if they go this window. They will, and they'll go for big next year. I think I prefer Diamond because he looks to have all the attributes of Antonio Silva, being a little bit more aggressive, and his buyout clause is like 20 million less, so he might be the better option to go for. Rajat says, so dumb they're waiting for announcing Højlund. Yeah, look, it is, man. I've said this all stream. I personally believe that this is happening because there is a match on Saturday at Old Trafford. I think there's going to be some sort of protest at it. If they can wheel out the shiny new toy holding up a shirt and everybody's up applauding, maybe they won't sit and sing Glazers out chant for all the world to see. Truth is, it's going to happen anyway. So I don't know. It does seem nonsense. It does not take 4 days to do a medical. It really doesn't. Stephanie says it's a blame game. Yeah, look, it is. Life is a blame game. It says Ramos is too injury prone. Yeah, I know he is, man. I know he is. But look, at one time I would have loved to have Sergio Ramos in this team, but that was like 9 or 8 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, so I don't think it's going to happen at any point. Let me see this poll. So we have 97 votes on the poll. If you guys haven't voted on the poll in the comments, please pop a vote on it as well. Let me know your thoughts. So I have been asking you guys, based on your gut feelings, based on what you guys think at this current moment in time, what's going to happen with this Manchester United sale? What's going to happen? And the options were an Ineos win, so that's Radcliffe, Qataris win, Glazer stay, or sale further delayed. The vast majority of you guys are sticking with the guns. You guys are sticking with Sheikh Jassim. I don't know. I feel like out of all the bidders, they're probably ahead. I feel like they probably could push on and blow everybody else out of the water at some point. But we have to say when it's coming. I don't know. I would have expected it to have happened by now. I really would have. So 67% saying Qataris win, 13% are going with Glazer staying, 17% are saying a delay to the seal, and 3%, only 3% think Radcliffe will win. Nelbus is saying Harry Maguire to West Ham. Here we go, Fabrizio. I wish it was true, man. I really, really do. Like, I would love nothing more than to tell you guys that Harry Maguire was being sold to West Ham. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it going down that way. Let me just double check as well. So some more stuff we wanted to go through on tonight's show. So coming in from Simon Jones off the Mail, Donny van de Beek has been deemed surplus to requirements and United are now willing to let him go. That's good. I'm happy with that. But the thing is, £25 million, that's far too much. Nobody's going to pay £25 million for Donny van de Beek. 15, I think, is a fair price. Based on everything that's happened at United, how it's gone down. Pink Einstein is saying as well, Harry Maguire, the worst player I've ever seen. Happy he's gone. He hasn't gone yet. He hasn't gone quite yet. And let's see what else we got. Stephanie saying United's middle name is Delay. Yeah, look, it may as well be. If there is a slow way to do things, Manchester United find it. If there's a hard way to do things, Manchester United find it. We don't do things quickly. We don't do things easily. And sometimes we don't do things at all. So I wouldn't hold my breath on this Højlund announcement. I mean, the medical was meant to be yesterday. As I said, he was like an hour late, and now all of a sudden it's a 4-day delay. What sort of a medical were they gonna do? I don't know. Like they must have been going through his family tree and going through every single living relative to do medicals at that point. Rajat says could be making TikTok. There could be as well. Lucky Singh is down there. Good to see you, man. Welcome. All have offers coming in. 22 million for Donny van de Beek and Fred for 13. I hope so. I do. I would love us to get that sort of money for those players. I really would. Rajat as well is saying it's about efficiency. Sorry, it's not about efficiency. I mean, it should be. I would like United to be efficient. I've just what it is. I'm an impatient guy, so supporting United, it's never ever gonna go well. So one last update coming through as well from Fabrizio on Sofayn Amrabat. So Sofayn Amrabat wants to go. He wants to leave Fiorentina and play for Manchester United. So that's very, very good, guys. I'm feeling confident on this deal. I really am. He has said this to United already. I mean, look, it's done in the personal terms. He wants to come. He is convinced of the players. Let's see what's going to be happening here. Rajat says, doing it for PR hype and click. Yeah, look, it's just that. It's just trying to build it up. It's just trying to give some sort of, announce Højlund. Let's get trending. That's what we're after. Big T says, this club is definitely raising my blood pressure of late. Man, they really are. They really, really are. It's been this way. Like, to be fair, is it any higher than normal years? It might be. It might be a little bit higher for me. Stephen says United can't sell players. No, we really can't. We couldn't sell. We genuinely could not sell anyone. We sold Elanga. I'll give them credit for that. But I mean, we're in August and we've only had one big sale. Outside of Alex Telles, who was 6 million, Elanga's the most at 15. Like, that's not a big summer when we've been told all year we need to sell players if we want to buy. So where is the sales coming from? Why are they not done? We're 2 weeks out from the transfer window. We are 4 weeks out from transfer deadline day. Are United ready? Have we sold enough players? No, we haven't. So we got a lot of work to do. Ed is down there. They're probably delaying it, trying to find the money. It might be taking down the back of the sofa, looking for the good old Manchester United credit card. You know what they're like. Amrabat is a warrior. Yes, he is an absolutely brilliant player. Real warrior on the pitch. But he comes with a lot of technical skill as well. Really good passer, really good carrier. In Serie A last year, he played the most progressive passes. He also played the most sideways passes for a midfielder. And he had the most ball covered as well. So he definitely aggresses the ball. He's an aggressive player. That's what we want to call him. And look, I wouldn't feel too bad about the sideways passes either, because that means he can play it forward, and he knows when to play it forward, when to hold on to it, and that's going to be good for United as well. Lucky says that's a good thing. The main thing is Amrabat wants it. Absolutely. Rajat says we know we've been getting Højlund for 2 weeks. Yeah, look, I don't get it. And Stephanie says negotiation specialist Matt Hargreaves doing a good job. That's another good one. If we sell the players that we want to, and we get good deals for them, and we bring in the players we want to, I guess it has to be counted as a success. But it has took a long time. And look, as Rajat said, I don't get it. Look, we've killed all the hype for this. We've killed all the excitement about this. We've known Højlund's been coming for 2 weeks. We know we've wanted him for over 2 months. So where is he? Why have we not seen him there? He was in Manchester yesterday doing a medical. He was in Manchester today doing a medical. What are we doing? Why isn't he signed yet? That's what we want to see. Stephen is saying they rejected 20 for Maguire, who's no longer needed. Rejected 15 for Fred. I don't get it. I think we're trying to balance the books. I think we're trying to get big money for these players, but I don't think it's going to work, guys. I really don't. And even this story about Donny van de Beek, United wanting £25 million. No one's going to pay that money for him. Nobody. Like, nobody will even consider paying that much. Rajat says, don't mind Amrabat picking up cards and putting in the challenge. Absolutely not. I love a player with a bit of bite, a bit of dog in him, and a bit of aggression. You can't beat it. You really cannot. And United have lacked real leaders on the pitch, real players with a bit of bite, a bit of aggression. I have no problem whatsoever with it. No problem at all. And if he picks up 20 yellow cards next year, and I don't care. If he plays good and gets booked, he still played good for me. Ed is saying as well, since that season, we sold Everett and Welbeck. I knew we were in trouble when it comes to selling players. We've been god-awful ever since. Referee's going to target Amrabat just like they did to Casemiro. They could do. Stephanie says, need to clear the decks. We do this every window. We do. We really, really do, guys. And even at the moment, there's a lot of players I think we should be selling who are not gone yet. And we're going to run through them. I'll run through them. So, first and foremost, Dean Henderson. We should be selling him. Now, Tom Heaton's a potential. It all depends if we sign a backup goalkeeper or not. I would keep Heaton because I think it's just going to save us going and trying to buy a backup goalkeeper. But then I'm going to go Brandon Williams. Then I'm going to go Harry Maguire. Then I'm probably going to go for, who else have we got? Fred. McTominay need to go. Van de Beek needs to go. There's 6. Martial needs to go. There is 7. I think I said Brandon Williams. If I haven't already, there's number 8. So that's 8 players we should be moving on already. And look, we've only really moved on Tellez and Alanga. We haven't even sold Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly is still at Manchester United, so we need to hurry up on this, guys. We really do. Pink is saying as well, Fred is a real baller and perfect for certain situations. He's not a bad player. He really isn't. I can see why we want to move him on. I think we can do better. I think there's still a useful player in there who can come off the bench, who can come in for certain matches and really help us. But if we want to move him on, I understand that. I understand completely. Rajat says United don't know how to replace players that sell. No, they don't. But, I mean, we would be better at replacing players we sell if we actually sold players. Big T says, your thoughts on the new changes for the city the season, more time being added on. Yeah, look, that's another one to talk about. And it's going to be interesting. I don't know. Because, like, think about what it was like at the World Cup. Cast your mind back 7 or 8 months ago when the World Cup was still going on, right? We had like 10, 15 minutes extra time every match. Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? It kind of made the matches drag on forever. I'm all for, I'm completely all for less time wasting in football. I really am. And I do think it's an issue. And I think some clubs get away with it. I think Newcastle massively got away with it. I think Emi Martinez and Aston Villa do it constantly. It helps smaller teams out. It helps teams out who are holding on. But what I think there's better ways to do it. I personally, and look, this might be controversial, instead of adding on like 15, 20 minutes of added time, I would be more in favour of the rugby model, where the clock is stopped whilst the ball's out of play. That's what I'd be more in favour of, instead of looking at 17 minutes of added time. I just think it makes it tidier. I think it makes it look neater, because it's going to be like that in both halves. We might have 20 minutes plus, nearly 30 minutes in one match. So that's kind of crazy, guys. Stephanie says, Eric Bailly, and we need to get that guy gone, man. I'm so fresh says, do you think with Mbappe and Kim being free next year, United might be interested in a striker? It's a good point. I think it would be brilliant business if we got Harry Kane on a free next year. I really do. Whether that happens, whether he goes to Bayern Munich, we're going to find out. Who else have we got in here? Lucky Singh, Fred, price should be 13 million. That seems to be consensus. 12.9, 13 million. That's a fair deal. Ronnie says, we've missed a Roy Keane type midfielder for a long time. Hopefully this new lad will do the job and can do the real deal. I hope so. Anthony says, hello, good to see you, Anthony. Thank you for joining in, man. And Big T says, Fergie would have loved 15 minutes added on every game. He would have. Rajat says, Keane doesn't have good analysis. No, look, he doesn't. I will say this. Roy Keane is more. He understands the game in a different way. Look, he is very tactically good, but he isn't too interested in gegenpressing and systems and styles and stuff. He's more interested in the work rate of players, the defensive work they do, how they get up and down the pitch, do they make opportunities. It isn't more analytically, I guess. And look, it just comes down to what different people prefer. Personally, for me, I always like analytical analysis because I like to see the numbers. I like to see who's doing what. I like to look at the whole picture. Some people prefer looking at just one player, looking at what they've done in a match or how the team worked in a match. It's just all down to individual preference. But I do seriously think that there is better analysis on YouTube than there is on Sky most weeks anyway. Rajat done that. Stephanie, United forward players and attacking players need to be more clinical and put games to bed sooner. Yeah, we do. We really do. Rajat says he look at it from a passion perspective. Yeah, look, that's what it's about. It's like how much you fight for the ball, how hard you work for the ball. Where's the leadership? Where is the opportunities? Who's taking the game by the scruff of the neck? That's what Kane's kind of looking for as well. we're having a comment in there from Anthony. So what have you missed? So just a quick run through, just for anyone who has just joined in with us. So we're going to run through this really, really quickly. Let me just start from the top. So Manchester United, first and foremost, we are looking at a weekend announcement for Rasmus Hojlund. This is coming in from Samuel Luckhurst of Manchester Evening News and Sky Sports News as well. The problem is he seemed to have turned up late for his medical yesterday. They did some tests yesterday. They did more today. It should have been announced today. It really should have. I think what United are doing here is trying to drag this on because they're worried about protests at the weekend, and they know if they have a nice shiny toy to come out, it might make the crowd quiet for MUTV. That's probably what they're thinking about. In terms of what Romano has said, Højlund has completed all medical tests and done his media duties ahead of the move to Man United. So look, that's already done. What else have we got? So David Moyes would like to try again with Harry Maguire, but the player is reluctant to come. According to Padilla and according to Fabrizio Romano, Sofayn Amrabat only wants to join Manchester United. He is determined to come to Manchester United, and United want him. We have to sell first, and it comes down to Fred or Van de Beek. In terms of Fred, we're looking around £13 million. In terms of Van de Beek, we're looking £25 million. So the Galatasaray deal for Fred, it's kind of a little bit sketchy. It might not happen, but there is interest from Saudi Arabia. There is interest from Fulham. Let's see where that goes. In terms of Van de Beek, there was talk of Real Sociedad being in for him. They pulled out, price tag too high. So we're going to have to see what happens there. In terms of Mason Greenwood, an announcement on Greenwood's future is expected within the next few days, according to Romano. So we were promised some sort of conclusion by the end of next week, and looks like we're probably going to get that. So that's going to be good to finally have an answer on that one. And then we have some stuff on the takeover. So first and foremost, Manchester United takeover discussions ongoing with the Glazers and continuing to talk with a number of parties, according to Mike Keegan. And there still remains confidence among those close to Sheikh Jassim and their bid that they will win the race to buy Manchester United eventually. So that's kind of where we are. There's a quick roundup for anyone who might have missed it. Big T says Souness made a living out of Pogba. He did, absolutely. Anthony says Kane is a passion merchant, not tactical in analysis. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he understands it, but Roy Keane went out with a job to do, and he always did his job. He did it fantastically well. Sim is saying, is Delang throwing a free kick going to be... yeah, look, that's a good one. Goalkeepers do waste a lot of time. Keno is a nice change from Neville, and Carragher says, I'm so fresh. Yeah, he is. And I think when you have Neville, Keane, Carragher, you got a nice mix between more tactical analysis and just some more general commentary. And what Keane does, like, Keane's funny, like, he is amusing as well. Pink says, will it be Amrabat or Goretzka? It's going to be Amrabat. Big T says, Keane's passion won a silverware. Show him some respect. Absolutely. Roy Keane won Manchester United the treble by dragging us into that Champions League final, even though he was suspended. He was brilliant against Juventus, and he was one of the most iconic players in United history. I think as a pundit, you know, a lot of it is tongue-in-cheek. Some of it is sharp remarks, but I don't mind that. I do find him amusing. I like his stuff. But it just depends on what you want. Some people like tactical analysis. Some people prefer more just general commentary. So it all depends. Lucky says, does Højlund have to do a medical again? I don't know. I really don't know what's happening there. Mark is down there. Fans will protest regardless. Absolutely. We can't be bought off with Sofayn Amrabat and Højlund. We weren't bought off with Casemiro. We weren't bought off with Rafael Varane. They protested when they signed Ronaldo. It doesn't matter who they sign. The protests are not going away. United fans will always want the Glazer family gone. Anthony as well saying, will Højlund train with the squad tomorrow, or will it be after his unveiling? Probably after his unveiling, man. Jarlath's down there as well. It's going to be good to come to a conclusion with the Greenwood saga. Good for the fans, good for the club, and good for Greenwood himself. Absolutely. We want conclusions. We want everything sorted. We want it to be done. Like, I'm sure we've had enough of seeing fake Twitter accounts out there saying Greenwood back or Greenwood gone. We just want to see proper conclusion. That's what we want. Rajat says, what's my opinion on the Greenwood saga? Look, I'll put the Greenwood saga this way. First and foremost, I think that he probably shouldn't be playing for United, especially this season. Like, no preseason, hasn't kicked a ball in almost 2 years. It's been a year and a half. I think the allegations that came out against him were extremely serious. Obviously, it's been dropped by CPS. He wasn't found guilty, but he hasn't also had his name cleared. There was withdrawal of key witness evidence, and that's kind of what's happened. The case kind of fell apart. So it can happen. I don't know how I personally I don't have the legal perspective on it. I can just speak from myself. I personally think it's just gonna be easier for Greenwood to go, for United to get rid of him, because first and foremost, it saves United the issue. Secondly, it's going to save Greenwood the issue of being booed by every fan in England, from his own crowd to being abused away, to having reporters constantly following, having cameras put in his face. It's going to be a lot of hassle for Erik ten Hag, a lot of distractions for United's team. So it might be easier for him to go elsewhere and rebuild his career. It might be easier. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think anyone does. It's going to be up to Manchester United, and we're going to find out soon. For right or wrong, if he stays, goes, or loan, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to be happening down there, and it's going to be interesting to see where we go. The medical did go okay as well. For anyone wondering about Højlund, Big T says Mika Richards is hilarious. Him and Kane, yeah, look, it's just two different guys completely. Rajat Tard guy, Graham Plank. I don't know what Lucky's saying there. Anthony's saying, we love the passion from Keane, and no one's disrespecting him. We're just stating the observations. Yeah, look, I would never question him as a player. I would never question him as a pundit or anything. It's just, I prefer the more analysis stuff. Sometimes you don't even get it on TV either. And some on another chat said, Evans is a legend. Do me a favour. No, he's not a legend. Johnny Evans is not a United legend. He's a former player. He has a bit of a cult following, but that's about it. To be a Manchester United legend, you have to be a Wayne Rooney, you have to be a Bobby Charlton, a Cantona, a Scholes, a Giggs, a Neville, someone like that, a Roy Keane, a Robson. You know, he's not in that bracket. He never was. Let me see. Stephanie says, sick of these non-footballing related distractions holding us back. Absolutely. Yeah, that was a good one from Big T as well. Let me see. Mark is saying, I hope the 58 get loads and the remaining pre-season games get postponed. Get the jokers out of the club. Absolutely, man. Look, we need to get rid of them, and as soon as possible. That's what we need to be done. Absolutely. Look, big distractions at the club between this Greenwood saga, between the board, between Old Trafford, between the seal. Let's just hope with football and kicking off, we can focus on the football and we can pay attention as much as possible to the outside things. But I hope that the concentration is there. I hope the focus between Erik ten Hag and those players is firmly on what's happening on the pitch. And I hope that it's going to be good. I really, really do. Let me see. Ronaldo is still one of our legends, says Rajat. Keane was also arrested. Yes, he was. Everything says, I think Qatar have already taken over. They've done the same with PSG. Where do you think the money would have come if they had 120 million with FFP? I don't know. It might have come from the credit card. It might have come from different sources. The guys reporting the budget might have been wrong as well. I don't know. I really don't know where the money's coming from. I hope that it gets balanced out. But we're gonna find out on that one. Anthony as well is saying Greenwood can handle the booing. Maguire has managed this toxic United fan and media. Greenwood will seal us through. Once the next scandal comes along and Greenwood bags goals, it will pass. Lucky is saying we don't need this. The drama will bring as well. Yeah, look, absolutely, guys. It's gonna be interesting. It is gonna be interesting. I'm not sure where it's going to go, where we're going to end up with this Greenwood saga. It's been drawn out. It's been made a lot longer than what it had to be. I just want it done. And hopefully we're going to have it done quickly. And I'm looking forward to being able to react to that with all you guys as well. Carpy says as well, need Greenwood back and get it over the line. Rival clubs will be fine anyway with all the abuse. I don't know. It really is just going to be interesting to see where we're going. With this one. So any more questions, guys, make sure to get them in down below. 125 votes on the poll, and 70% of you guys are still thinking Qataris are going to win. Absolutely love the confidence. I don't know, I just can't feel that confidence anymore about it. I feel like anything's possible with the Glazer family. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. Can we get to 40 likes on the stream? Only 3 likes left. We are up to 37. So if you guys haven't dropped a like, drop one now. Rajat says Goldbridge is not very happy. Well, what's Goldbridge not happy about, man? Let me know. Is there something I've missed and I should be reacting to? Should I be unhappy? I don't know. Let me know. what is Goldberg's not happy about? As long as it's not me, I think I'll be all right. Let me see. Anything else going on here? I'm gonna have a quick check as well for some of the latest stuff coming out. Sometimes we get stuff coming in around 8:30, about 9. Stephanie says, vote and like, guys. Yes, drop a like and drop a vote if you guys haven't already. Everything says Greenwood is the best finisher United have. They will all know that. Look, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Look, it is going to be interesting. According to Manchester Evening News, full steel takeover of United is still on. Don't know how I feel about that. Manchester Evening News not been great. Rajat says he's mad about Højlund. Yeah, look, I'm sure he will be. I'll probably check it out after as well. Marcus saying Ten Hag really showed last season, despite all the chaos, he keeps the boys focused. He does, and that's good. We need more of that at Manchester United. Absolutely. There is Satwant down there as well saying Glazers out. Good to see you, man. Anthony saying, I share your sentiments with the takeover too. Even Qataris car spotted with United number plate. Look, it's going to be interesting. There's been hints, there's been drops all over the show. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, as always with Manchester United. We will be in the headlines for right, for wrong, for no reason, and for pretty much everything. So that's just the way United go. That is the beast of that is the nature of the beast that we all know and love very, very much as well. Let me see. Got a couple of comments coming in there. Keep being yourself, Stefan. Great show. Watch along Saturday. Yes, thank you very much for that, Stephanie, as well. Watch along will be Saturday. For the Lens match, no match. Watch along on Sunday. I will be at the match myself. Sim just said just subbed. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. Really, really appreciate all the support from you guys as well. Rajat says Qatar come already getting annoying. I hope something does happen soon. Big T says if Greenwood goes in Qatar takeover, I swear the fan base will still find things to be happy about. Yeah, look, people will always be unhappy and negativity sells, and it's always been that way. I like to think that I bring some sort of positivity to the fan base, and I try to be as positive as possible on here because I don't like being negative. Like, I really don't. Sometimes it's hard with this football club, but there's a lot of things to be positive about. Greg is saying a loan for Greenwood, best solution. He can't come back to the level he was at after 18 months out of the game. A good loan gives him football, and it will keep his decide to sell. I kind of feel the same. I don't think he comes back and instantly plays. I don't think he can play a match until October and November time. I really don't. And it takes a long time to build up that fitness. If a player was out with an injury for 18 months, they wouldn't be back before the end of the year. They just wouldn't. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens in that regard. Drop a like on the video, guys. We are up to 38 likes. Can we hit 40? So just 2 people hit that like button. Only takes a second as well. 127 votes on the poll. 71% going with that Qatari win. 2% are saying, of course, as well for a win for Ineos. Glazer's Day is 12% and still further delayed 15%. Big T says your interaction with the viewers is second to none. Don't ever change. No, man, I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't. Like, if it wasn't for you guys, I don't know what I would talk about. So as far as possible, I will always go through that chat. I really, really will. And yeah, look, I try to read every comment. Like, I mean, you guys give me time out of your day to sit and watch me, so least I can do is get those comments in as well, because that's what it's about. It's about a community channel. So much up, big ups to you guys. Anthony says, people say Greenwood saga divides the fans. I haven't realised every United news divide the fan base, including 20 million. Look, everything divides the fans. I mean, they could put new goalposts up at Old Trafford, and some people would be unhappy about it. They could change the colour of the seats from red 1 to red 2. People would be unhappy about it. Look, United fans are fickle. All fans are fickle. People get annoyed about a lot of things. I think the Greenwood thing's probably a legitimate thing. A lot of people are unhappy about Maguire. They think, we should have taken the money. I get personal vendettas come into it. I get personal agendas and opinions, but I would be selling them for more money. I just would. Sim says it's hard not to be negative with this. United's ups and downs. Yeah, look, there's ups and downs like everything in life. Not everything's going to be good. Not everything's going to be bad. But we'll take the highs with the lows. We'll take the positives with the negatives. And let's just hope that the goods outweigh the bad for the first time in a long time for Manchester United. Anthony says, only Glazers out does not divide the fans. Absolutely. Terry says, great show. Absolutely. Thanks, man, for being part of it. I'm going to drop off here, guys. That is 1 hour done. Have a couple of things I need to go and do as well now. So thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I will be live same time tomorrow, 7:30. Will be a rush as well, getting the haircut before the show. So going to be sharp for you guys. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Big ups to yourself, and see you all tomorrow. Let's hope that we finally get some news on Højlund, on Greenwood, maybe some sale updates. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, and yeah, catch you all later.